Ambassador Lecture Series, The Past, Present, and Future of Iraq. Wednesday, March 16, 2011. University of Indonesia. We are welcoming the Ambassador of Republic of Iraq, His Excellency, Mr. Ismail Muhsin, the Honorable Chair of the Program of the Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies of University of Indonesia, Professor Dr. Lydia Freyani Hawadi, the respectable home-based lecturers of the Program of the Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies of University of Indonesia, attendance of the conference from Sriwijaya University, South Sumatra, Al-Azhar Indonesia University, and Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta, and the attendance of the conference at University of Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to all of you. Today, we are very delightful to have the opportunity to hear a lecture series delivered by His Excellency, Mr. Ismail Muhsin. On this special occasion, we have the chance to enrich our knowledge about the past, present, and future of Iraq. As the opening session, let us listen to the opening remark by Mrs. Freyani. To Mrs. Freyani, I invite to the podium.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are honored by the Excellency Ambassador of Iraq, Dr. Ismail Muhsin, and thank you very much for coming and spend the time with us this afternoon, and hope that your lecture will enrich our knowledge about Iraq. Thank you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mrs. Freyani. For the next session, we kindly invite the moderator, Mr. Muhammad Siddiq, to chair the lecture series.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Excellency Ambassador of Iraq, Dr. Muhsin, Ismail Muhsin, Excellency the Chairperson of the Graduate School for Studies, Middle East Studies and Middle Eastern Islamic Studies, and all of you participants here in Jakarta at the University of Indonesia, as well as the University of Gajah Mada in Yogyakarta, University Al-Azhar Indonesia in Jakarta, and University Sriwijaya in Palembang. I think you have heard who's going to be the speaker today, and we've also, the ambassador is already here, very eager to make his presentations. He's from his CV, I see that he's a man of academics, so he think will be giving us a lot of informations which would be suitable and needed for us here, inshallah. As you know all, Iraq has been in the map and the attentions and in the news for the last decade or two. For various reasons. They are connected each other, but as we all realize, and I think the ambassador will tell us better, the situation has improved a lot from what it was before, and inshallah will improve more, so that inshallah will be part and parcel of the Muslim Ummah and the Muslim world. I think with this brief presentation, I invite Ambassador, Mr. Excellency Dr. Ismail Shafiq Mohsen to take the floor. Please.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa man da'a bida'watihi ila yawmiddin. First of all, I would like to thank all of you about giving me this opportunity to talk about Iraq, and all the organizer, moderator, and the attendants to give me the chance to talk with all of you. And in this late day after 4 p.m. and it's raining, lightning, thunders, and you are coming to the class, this is, it means you are eager to learn. And it means you are looking for the knowledge, and this is very good sign. Usually in the afternoon lecture, people, they are tired, and usually I am tall in the morning. When it become in the afternoon, I become short little bit because we are tired and these things. So inshallah, I'll try to give you a brief summary, what is in the past of Iraq, present, current situation, what's going on in Iraq, and the future for Iraq. So I wonder the presentation is ready here. I can start here.
Yes, Excellency.
Before I start, I would like to give you some background, my background. What's my background? I finished my bachelor degree in electrical engineering from University of Baghdad. And then after that, I went to United States and I finished my master and PhD in electrical and computer engineering. And in 1992, I finished my PhD from University of Arizona. If anyone knows where is Arizona located in the United States, it is similar
Midwest.
to Iraq. It's a very hot city.
Desert
Then,
country.
yeah, after that, I moved to California, to San Diego. So I taught at the university there. They call it UC, it's the University of California, San Diego. Mainly, I taught engineering, fiber optics, networking, all this stuff. At the same time, I'm working with the biomedical company at that time. And I have patents there how to measure the flow from your heart. You know, your heart, to measure the flow from your heart, it depends on two things: the size of your heart and the frequency of your heart.
The pulse.
The frequency, we see, it means the pulse. So you can measure the pulse, but how they going to measure the size? So my patents on this area, they enter catheter from here, and there are some sensors, so they know what's the size of the heart. So when the patient go to the emergency room, they can give him some medicine. It depends on the size of this heart. Now, my background, mostly academy. By accident, I became ambassador. Yeah, this is, and my background engineering, mostly engineering. So I have a story. Inshallah, next time I will tell you what's the story behind it.
Inshallah.
Okay, so let's start about the lecture here. Part one, I'm going to talk about history and people of Iraq. And the first topic is going to be ancient Mesopotamia and the golden age of Islam in Iraq and the modern history of Iraq. Then part two, current situation. People always ask what is going on in Iraq now, and they want to know. Basic information: Iraq under invasion, 2003, the invasion happened to Iraq. So what is the situation in Iraq at the time for the invasion? I'm going to talk about it. Then after that, the democracy, politics, security, question about security always. You hear bomb here, bomb there. So what's the security? Is better, worse? You never know. Economy, and then I talk about the future of Iraq. Usually I don't like to follow the slide one by one, but I try to emphasize on the important things, because if I read the slide, you don't need me here, so it's going to be boring and you don't listen.
Explanation.
Okay. So the first slide here, so you cannot see it here. How you see the slide?
Bisa tunjukkan slide ya?
So did you see the slide in your picture there?
Yeah, we're asking the technician down to check. Yeah, here it is.
Here is it. Okay. Now we have problem. I cannot move. I stick with the chair. And here, Iraq. I think in Indonesia they spell Iraq I-R-A-K.
Yes.
It's very close to Iraq. It means the green in Sumerian. So it means the green land. Because we have two rivers in Iraq. We have two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. So we have two rivers. If you're looking on Iraq, this is the map of Iraq. Usually in the middle here, Baghdad, and north here, Turkey and Syria, and this side, Iran in this side, Saudi Arabia in this side, and Kuwait here, Syria and Jordan in this side. So usually they call it green land, called the land of the two rivers, Mesopotamia. This is a very old name for Iraq. There are many prophets live in Iraq, like Abraham. Do you want to say Nuh or Noah? because Nuh, and I think in Iraq we say Nuh also.
Yeah,
And
it's Arabic way.
Jonas,
It's
it means Yunus. Do you remember Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that when some people come to visit him from Iraq, and you tell him you are from the land of brother Yunus, Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. So there are three prophets lived in Iraq. Not only that, but in Indonesia, mostly people, they talk about Imam Shafi'i. Imam Shafi'i also, part of his life, lived in Iraq. And Abdul Qadir al-Gaylani also, his grave is still in Iraq. He lived in Iraq. So we have a lot of relation. I know a lot of people here, they make dua for Abdul Qadir al-Gaylani and these things. And Abu Nuwas also in Iraq.
Abu Nawas.
Abu Nawas. Even in Iraq we say Abu Nawas. So Abu Nawas, he said, إلهي لست للفردوس أهلا ولا أقوى على نار الجحيم فهب لي توبة أغسل ذنوبي فأنت غافر الذنب العظيم. They say after repentant Abu Nawas, they say some good poetry and these things. So I think people here, they sing it. Is that right? Yeah, I hear it sometimes. Okay. Iraq, they call it cradle of civilization. A lot of civilization. The first one in Iraq. This is almost 5,000 BC. 5,000 BC. So Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylon, modern Iraq, Ashur, Babylon II, the Persian, the Abbasi, which is capital Al-Hira, Baghdad, and Samarra. Do you know Amawi, Abbasi? You know that, huh? Yeah, okay. So this is the Abbasian time. Do you remember Harun al-Rashid and these things? And then Ottoman Empire. Okay? So mostly we're going to cover these in the history. I look at your eyes and you are sleeping, I'm going to go very fast. If I feel I talk to myself, then I'm going to go very fast. So unless you look at me and focus, I will go very fast. So the Sumerian lived 5,000 BC. Flourish life was because of two things: flooding of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, extreme riches of the river's valley. So this is the main thing why they flourished at that time. They invented many things. You know, this civilization, now we live in century 2000, but the civilization, the cereal agriculture, they invented at that time. The seeds for these things. They invent, do you know what cuneiform? Does anyone know what's cuneiform? The way they write, it's like a code. The Sumerian, when they write at that time, like a code, they need to be translated. They need to be solved for this code. Now people, they send code from one place to the secret things, how to solve it. So at that time, they write like a code, the Sumerian at that time. The wheel also, they invented the wheel at that time. The car, everything, they use wheel for these things. And the first plow. You know what's the plow for agriculture and these things? They discovered it at that time. A math system based on numeral 60. You know, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, all these things, they invented by these people. So we need to appreciate these civilization because they contribute to us a lot. Alphabet by 3000 BC, banking, literature, poetry and epic literature. There is very famous one they call Gilgamesh. You hear about Gilgamesh? Yeah, Gilgamesh, one of the leader, they write epic literature about how he is hero and these things. So there are many famous books, they translate this what it means. So the story of Gilgamesh, who was actually king of the city-state. Do you think they hear me or not? They don't hear me, huh? So I move, huh? So now I repeat, I start again. Okay. So just summarize, what is this? So these civilization, they give us a lot, cereal agriculture, the script of writing. They discover the wheels. They discover the plow. the math system based on 60, and the alphabet by 3000 BC, banking system, literature and poetry, and the famous one, they call it Gilgamesh, one of the leader, and still alive, and you can read book about it.
Benefit of that the people in other universities can hear,
They can hear from this?
not from there. Because here we can help us better.
So the best thing to repeat everything now, and everybody go home.
We don't miss much. I think.
Okay, so now stop this one.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Then I sit down here. I don't move. I usually, when I'm lecturer, I have to write and these things. So I always talk math and this. Now I talk about history and these things. So Akkadian Empire, this is 2340 BC. The great Akkadian leader, you call it Sargon here, or is Sargon? In Iraq we say Sargon. In Iraq we say Sargon. Not Namrud. Yes. Yes. Conquered Sumer and built an Akkadian empire. They make it far as well as Lebanon. Sargon based his empire on Akkad city. There is Akkad city in south of Iraq. The long time spans of Mesopotamia history. And there is also Sumerian history city, they call it Ur. There is Ur, and rose up for the Akkadian Empire fell. Babylon 1, and this is the famous one, the first law in the world by Hammurabi. Hammurabi, the first man, he put the law, and this is ruled for 200 years until 1530 BC. And the empire between Arabian Gulf to Mediterranean Sea. And Hammurabi code an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So this is the first law in the history. So they put it by Hammurabi. Qisas, established schools. This is Babylon numerals, the number, how they start the numbers, how they make it. So if you see the first triangle, it means 1. When they have 2 triangles, it means 2. 3 triangle, it means 4. And then they discover the angle maybe to the right, it means 10, then 20, 11, 20. This is the way they teach the people how they start the number. And Assyrian timeline was a province of Babylon under Hammurabi. It is 1500 BC. Reagan, it's independent at 830 BC, the control of Mediterranean trade route. And Sargon II from 722 to 705. And extend rule, it's on? Okay. In 689 BC, king, we call it Sennacherib, destroy Babylon, and Babylon and Medes invade Nineveh. Where is Nineveh? Nineveh in the north of Iraq. Nineveh is the place of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. From Nineveh, he's from Nineveh. Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, he's from Nineveh. Accomplishment: the Assyrian culture showed a dramatic growth in science and mathematics, and this is what I try to emphasize on because this is my background. So division of the circle into 360 degree, longitude and latitude in geographical navigation. Development of specific medical science, which greatly influenced medical science as far as Greece. There are many achievements for this civilization, and Babylon II, mainly established by, we call it Nebuchadnezzar, in the 6th century BC, who in 586 BC conquered Judah and destroy Jerusalem, and Suleiman temple was also destroyed. Nebuchadnezzar carried away an estimated 15 captives and sent most of its population into exile in Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar too built hanging gardens. Do you hear one hanging garden? Yeah, you hear about. Yeah, one of the seven wonder of the ancient world. So this is one of the seven wonder. They call it hanging garden. It is little bit south of Baghdad. Little bit south of Baghdad. So if you visit Baghdad, you try to go to the hanging garden. And if you see in the picture, this is Samarra. This is where, the minaret, the muaddin used to go up and call for adhan. And if you go visit Iraq, it is north of Iraq, they call it Samarra. And subhanAllah, they make it in a way, if the imam stand in the mihrab and make Allahu Akbar, you can hear it at the back without sound system. Do you know how much the complicated sound? Bring this one. There, just you say Allah, they build it in a way, the architecture, I don't know how they build it. Now in every mosque we have microphone, we have amplifier, but it does not work very well. So if you go there and stand in the mihrab in front and make Allahu Akbar, everybody hear it. It's a huge mosque. It is similar, maybe big of Istiqbal mosque, like the Istiqlal mosque. And this is, they say all the army, they used to pray after the leader there, after the leader or imam. The age of invader, various invader conquered the land of Nebuchadnezzar's death, including, there are different people, they come after that and then destroy or conquered the area. The coming of Islam. The Muslim reached Iraq under leadership of Al-Muthanna. Al-Muthanna from they call it Dhiqar near Nasiriyah. Now they call it Nasiriyah. And during the rule of the second caliph, you call it caliph or Khalifa? Khalifa Umar, who ordered establishment of two cities, Basra and Kufa. And sometimes Basra and Kufa, they call it Al-Iraqan, the two famous cities at that time, because they deliver a lot of ulama and school for studying Islam. Basra and Kufa, they call it Al-Madinah Al-Munawwara wa Mecca and Al-Iraqan, Al-Kufa wal-Basra. And the fourth Khalifa, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, moved the capital from Medina to Al-Kufa. The Umayyad dynasty was established in Syria, not in Iraq. We are Abbasiyin in Iraq. Kufa and Basra became the two dominant schools for Arabic and Islamic studies and these things. Iraq was the place for many revolts against Umayyad dynasty, including revolts by Imam Hussein, the grandson of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Abbasiyin ended the rule of Umayyah and moved the capital to Iraq. So Abbasiyin, when they came to Iraq, they called Golden Age of Islam. They called Golden Age of Islam. Baghdad was established as the capital of Abbasiyin dynasty by the Khalifa, they call it Al-Mansur. If you visit Iraq, there is like a small city in Baghdad, they call it Al-Mansur to remember this Khalifa. The golden age of Islam during the rule of Al-Rashid and Al-Ma'mun. You know Harun al-Rashid? Harun al-Rashid, one day he looks to the sky and he found a cloud in the sky. You know the cloud? And they asked the cloud, rain wherever you want to rain. The outcome of this rain, they're going to come back to me. It means the zakah of this rain, they're going to come back to me. Do you know how big this empire? So at that time, very huge. So they asked the cloud, wherever you want to go, there's going to be rain in my land. And at that time, the recording of hadith, a lot of school for recording hadith, establishment of scientific methodology for research and experimental physics, the introducing of zero. Zeros is very important. They don't know it at the beginning. They know they start only from 1. They don't know 0. So the introduction of the 0. Establishment of algebra. Do you know algorithm and these things? This come from al-Khwarizmi and these things. Establish of astronomy. A lot of astronomy they start building there. The Abbasian dynasty ended when the Tatar entered Baghdad and turned it into, there is millions of people killed by the Tatar, and they throw all the books in the rivers. They say the books at that time, they make the river blue because of the huge books. You know, when some civilization happened and they write a lot of poetry, a lot of book, a lot of hadith. So when the Tatar invaded Iraq, they throw all these books in the rivers just to destroy the culture, the meaning, all these things. They want to destroy it. So Iraq, historically, they have a lot of problems, not only now. Then Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman established empire after the fall of Seljuk to the Mongolia. The characteristic of Ottoman military strength, very strong military, use of military to expand the empire. And they build a lot of, there is Muhammad Thani, the second one, and he opened Al-Qastantiniya. If you know about here Al-Qastantiniya, yeah, he opened and Rasul ﷺ mentioned in one his hadith before this guy he born, he say, "Ni'ma al-amiru amiruha wa ni'ma al-fatihu fatihuha." He say, and this guy he was very young, and when he read the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the leader who gonna open Qastantiniya, he is the most greatest leader, and when he read it, he read this hadith, he tried to apply it. So he put it in his mind, and subhanAllah, after many years, he opened Al-Qastantiniya by Muhammad al-Thani. Then what happened here, this is, the goes down? Okay. Now, modern political history. We finished the history, now the recent history, what's going on in Iraq. Part of Ottoman Empire, 3 wilayats. Do you know what wilayats? Similar, but they divide Iraq in 3 wilayas. One in the north, they call it Mosul or Nainawa. You remember we talk about Nainawa? This is Mosul, Nainawa. And Basra, the place of Khilafah and the schools and these things. And Baghdad in the middle, the place of Khilafah of Abbasi. So they make it 3 wilayat. Then the British came to Iraq, mandate in 1914 to 1932. In Cairo conference, they hire King Faisal in Iraq, ruled the Hashemites from 1921 to 1958. Then the independence, it come in 1932, member of League of Nations, founding member of United of Nations, Republic after Qasim, Abdul Karim Qasim, military coup at July 1954. So, 1958. So if you're looking on my birthday, mostly Iraqi, they make it July 14th because of this. So it is crazy sometimes when you go to, let's say, I went to United States, a student sit down with me, his birthday, 14th of July, my birthday, we say, amazing, why 2 came from Iraq, same birthday? They don't know the government changed our birthday, we don't have the actual birthday. So because Abdul Karim Qasim at that time, every person who born, he want to make his birthday July 14th. Okay? So me, my wife, everybody laughing at the weeks, keep it quiet, we don't know what to say. Now, alhamdulillah, we return back to original, we change our birthday. So I went to United States, everybody asked me, you and your wife, same birthday? It's amazing. and we keep quiet. We cannot tell them anything about our dictatorship. Even we cannot write our birth date. Then after that, Ba'ath Party assumed power by 2 military coups in 1968. War with Iran then started. War with Iran more than 10 years. Invaded Kuwait in 1990. UN sanction against Iraq. And 2003 US invasion ended Ba'ath rule. So if you're looking on this history from 1979 until 2003, so if you count how many years, it's going to be around 24 years. Iraq, there is no stability. Iraq is a very rich country. We have a lot of oil. We have 2 rivers. We have many universities. We contribute to many civilizations. But people in Iraq through this era, they live, many of them, as a poor people. So some of them, they live under poverty because of this dictatorship. They destroy a lot of things. I think some people here, they hear about Saddam Hussein, and maybe they like Saddam Hussein. But if you show it to you, I remember my brother. By the way, all my brothers, they work at the University of Baghdad. All of them, they finish PhD and they work at it. I remember one of my brother, he worked at medical school. He is a professor at the medical. He gets $1 per month at the time of sanction of Iraq. So at that time, when the sanction happened, when the crisis, war with Iran, crisis with Kuwait, sanction, so all the system collapsed, everything. So how the teacher, they can live if he don't go and get his salary, he will hospital because they say sanction against Saddam Hussein. So even sometimes pencil we cannot get. They say, no, Saddam, he gonna make a biological weapon from it and this and that. Medical warehouses were looted and burned after the fall of the regime. So democracy in Iraq. After I show you the cradle civilization and how they flourish in Iraq, I show you the damage and a lot of damage happened to Iraq through the dictatorship. Now, after 2003, we start what they call a democracy. And democracy, they need a lot of time. It is not a switch to switch it. Okay? So, started after 35 years of dictatorship, started to take in 2005. In 2005, not all people participate in the election. Iraq now has an elected government, an elected parliament, and a multi-party political system, absolute freedom of the press, and the freedom of assembly and association. Thousands of parties in Iraq. Thousands. If you go to Iraq now, if you ask who is going to be the president, maybe 100,000, I would like to be a president. So we don't know. We go from dictatorship, people, they cannot talk even with his wife in the bedroom, to something free. So we don't know how to use these things. I think they need education, they need teachers. So what's happened, and also, if you remember when the invasion of Iraq at that time, we don't have also Sunni, Shi'i, Kurdi. We don't have these things. A lot of Sunni, they married Shi'i, Shi'i married Sunni. We lived together for thousands of years. There's no problem. After 2003, they say, Sin, it means Sunni, Shin, it means Shi'i, Kaf, it means Kurdi. And they try. But the people of Iraq, they say no at that time. And in the last election, 2010, many people, they try to promote this, to say, let's make like Iraq in 3 countries, and they lost the election completely. They lost the election completely. So Iraq, they want to be united. They want to, as a people of Iraq, they want to be united. How much time I have? 15 minutes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Tell me stop, I will stop. Summarize and stop anytime. Okay. Democratic process in Iraq need to be protected by building professional system. Iraq citizens have demonstrated the national platform versus any sectarian. Iraq held a province and council. Also in each province we have election. And here the council election, each province they have 41 member of council, except Baghdad because it's bigger. They gave him 51 members. National legislative election in 2005, National Assembly, and general election to elect the parliament. At that time we have 275. And by the way, at that time they elect Prime Minister Dawlat Nouri al-Maliki. And by the way, 25% quota for the women. In the parliament election, they have to be 25% for women. It's elected mandatory for each party, 1/4 of it has to be women. So when they count the person who is going to be in the next, they count, let's say, if it's women, it's okay. If there's no woman, who is coming next, she going to win. Even she gets less than the man. And then we have election in 2010. In this election, all people of Iraq participate in the election. The percentage, 65%. I don't know what's the percentage here, but it's 65%. This is good number. And they increased the number to 325. And each member, they represent 100,000. The Iraqi parliament, it's open list, and voter may choose either a party or a candidate from the party. The law of the seat allocation increased the size of the council from 275 to 300 to represent 100,000. Okay, this is the picture of the two candidates at that time. What they call it, Nouri al-Maliki. He is now the prime minister, and Ayad Allawi. His party get 91 seats, and Mr. Nouri al-Maliki get 89 seats, but he has the coalition. When he make a coalition, became his prime minister. This picture shows the speaker of the parliament make congratulations to our president, Mr. Jalal Talabani. He is Kurdish, and he is in his second term also, like Nouri al-Maliki. This is recently formed the Iraqi government at the beginning of this year. Recent past politics of Iraq. Iraq was under Ba'ath Party rule from 1968 to 2003. Saddam Hussein took control in 1979 and remained president until 2003, after which he was unseated by the US-led invasion. Current politics of Iraq, take place in a framework of, so we have federal governments, we have three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. I think you can read this by yourself. Legislative consists of Council of Representatives. The executive mainly President, President's Council, and Council of Ministers. And the judicial branch consists of many higher judicial council, Supreme Council, Court, and many other things. Security. People always ask me this: what's the security in Iraq? Okay. Rebuilding, I think rebuilding a strong military and police force is a key to the security establishment. You know, after the invasion, they dissolved the army and the police. There is no Iraqi army, there is no police army, and at that time, chaos is happening. Think about country without police, without army, what's going to happen? and there are foreigner troops, but they don't know the area, how to deal with people, and a lot of them, it happened, the chaos at that time. So now Iraq, they built their own army. They built their own police. But solving the security situation in Iraq will require a unified vision for Iraq. I think unless we have united vision from our people, we cannot solve the security. Strong local, regional, and international commitments. We have a lot of problem coming from outside of Iraq. So we need a commitment from our neighbor, to really, if Iraq becomes stable for 2 years, you're gonna see how flourish will be. The north of Iraq, if you visit north of Iraq right now, it is like European country. A lot of malls, a lot of road, a lot of many things, building, you name it. And we need to secure our Iraqi borders. Government spend how much money you think we spend just for security? You say Iraq spent in 2012 $12 billion just for security. The United States, they reduced their spend. Do you see in 2006, 2007, when the sectarian happened, they spend a lot of money, but now they spend very little. Mostly they spend it from Iraqi for training, for all these things. Current security. Iraq has become peaceful and democratic country that relies on democracy institution. Iraq, northern and southern area are completely free from any terrorist activity. Prosperity and advancement as I told you, in the Kurdistan area, the north never happened in the history of Iraq. Iraq today is a strong country based on constitution. National reconciliation has been in progress with all people. This is just a diplomatic, how many diplomatic mission now in Iraq? There are 69 diplomatic mission, and many delegation they goes to Iraq. Good cooperation between U.S. forces and Iraqi. The last year, 100,000 withdraw from Iraq. They left 48,000 at the end of this year. No more American troop in Iraq. The agreement with the government to leave Iraq. So many goods can be found in Iraq, hospital, university, they return back. Just to give you the idea, overall, the image for Iraq in the media is one that is greatly exaggerated and does not represent the actual situation. Recently, Majlis Ulama Indonesia visited various cities in Iraq. When they returned back, they told me is by far safer than what it shows in the media. Dramatically, the overall security situation in Iraq has improved over the past and fallen into unseen level since the first month of the war. The future of Iraq, I show you one slide and conclude. There are some priority partnership in the energy sector, oil and exploration, refining and technology, electricity. So we need a lot of things. They expect, now we have 2.2 million barrel per day. And the end of 2016 is going to be 12 million barrel per day, which is same like Saudi Arabia. We give a lot of project to different company, mainly in oil sector like Petronas in Malaysia. They win 3 projects. I sent Pertamina 1 month ago to Iraq to meet with the oil minister, to meet with the vice prime minister for energy, to accelerate working on this issue with the Indonesia. So there are promotion of a trade relation. A lot of industry, they make it a private now. A promotion for environmental education, rebuilding Iraq infrastructure, cultural exchange. We used to have a lot of exchange between university here and University of Baghdad. A lot of students, they go there. In 2003, the last one, There was 35 students in Indonesia, 35 students in Iraq, but they stopped after that. I hope we return it back, educational relation. In my conclusion, many things, I think if you're looking on the cradle of civilization of Iraq, many things they are contributing to the community because of this cradle civilization creates many things in algebra, in mathematics, in health, in how to write, poetry, all these things. Originally, they created by this civilization. I think still we have some challenges in Iraq. Switch from dictatorship to democracy is not an easy process. It's not an easy process, but we are in the right way. We are in the right way. Stability is the most important thing we're looking for it. I think if we have stability in one hand, a lot of development is going to be in other hand. So if our neighbor and all the world of the country give us the chance to be stable inside the Iraq, I think a lot of achievements going to happen in Iraq. Thank you very much for listening. I think I'm sorry for give you lecture at this late time, and you are almost sleeping now.
Excellency, thank you very much for your presentation. I think nobody's, everybody was giving full attention to your speech, I'm sure, and also our colleagues in other universities, you can see from the screens. I think now I request our friends here and the colleagues, the students and the scholars here to ask questions, and also from other universities. I have only one question, perhaps, if you allow me, Excellency, and that is, you mentioned the Sumerian civilization. How would that be comparable to in terms of timing? Was it the contemporary of the pharaonic civilization in Egypt, or is it earlier, or is it after?
Earlier.
It was earlier than pharaonic.
It is almost 5,000 BC.
I thought the Egyptian was about 5,000, 6,000 also. No?
I think after that. After that. Sumerian is before the first one.
Yeah.
The first one.
Well, now I think would like to have any questions from here. Anybody would like to ask questions?
If there is no question, I'll tell you a joke. Huh?
No. We have others who are waiting to give questions.
Just give you small joke, because if you are sleeping, you need to wake up. I met with the foreign minister here.
Mr.
Mr. Martin Netalagawa. Yeah. And I talked with them. I told him in America, he say, where is the beef?
Beef.
Yeah, when we talk, because my background engineer, I need something practical. Yeah. 1 + 1 = tell me where is the beef. I need the beef.
What is the tangible thing?
I need to see something in action. We have very strong relation with Indonesia, almost 60 years. We are one of the embassy open here in 1950 after the independence. So I told him, he say, maybe when you talk with these people, they are vegetarian. So they are not looking for beef.
Yes. With that joke, any question from here? Yeah, in the meantime, maybe you can ask our friends from University Sriwijaya or from Al-Azhar University, UAI, or from University Gadjah Mada. Any of you would like to ask any questions or give comments? Where is it from? Yes, please. Yes, please. Who would like to speak? Would you please identify yourself? This from University Gadjah Mada.
Mas saja. Halo?
Yes.
Ini Putri Mada ya.
Bisa.
Yes, please. Go ahead. Yes. From Gadjah Mada.
Ada? Siapa?
My boss. From Sriwijaya, from UAI, from Universitas Indonesia. Hello.
Excuse me. So we
Yes,
are from
please.
Unsri.
Yes, you are from Palembang.
Yeah, that's right. So
Go
can
ahead.
Can I address my question?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
You're most
name is-
welcome.
Okay, my name is Dr. Andi Al-Fatih, MPA from the Faculty of Social and Political Sciences of Sriwijaya University.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
Thank you, thank you. Assalamualaikum. So,
Waalaikumsalam.
I'm interested in the opinion of the Mr. Ambassador on the invention of America. So what do you think about the interference of foreign countries like United States in Iraq? As a sovereign country, in one side it looks doesn't good, but in one side it is maybe beneficial for Iraq people. So what do you think about this? Hello?
Yes, we are listening to you very well. The ambassador is going to answer
you.
you.
Can take the point of my questions.
Yes.
And then next, I'm going to know about the employment in Iraq now. So how is the employment, the rate, and then also the inflation? Okay, that's all I think for time being. Thank you.
So there are three questions, Excellency, as you have heard
Yes,
very
I have
well.
three questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. I think they are very good questions. So first, find a job. So they think there is no future for them. And the dictatorship with their 42 years, and they get very rich. You hear about the media. And the poor, the country, they get very poor, the under poverty people. So this equation is not equal, it's not fair. People, they stand up for their rights. I think this is their right to stand up, and they find the way. I told you at the beginning, I have patent how to measure the flow from their heart. I think we need to give patent to these people to discover the way how to change the dictatorship. And every people, when they found this way, they try to work on his country because this is unfair. People, they get, what they do election, 99.99 something, the president, they win. And all the people in the city, they don't like him. So subhanallah, how he get this number, nobody know. All of them, they cheater and do these things. So I think it's time to change. And I think it's good for the people, for the future. But we need to benefit from other experience. We don't need to go to chaos after that. We don't need, so we need something benefit. I think Indonesia, they have very good experience. They pass it. I think they can share it with the other country. They can help the other country because at the time for Suharto, when the change happened, also you have some problem at that time. So I think we need to share this knowledge with the other country, help the other country with these cases.
Yeah, Excellency, any question from our floor here? Well, in the meantime, perhaps I would like to make a comment on this, Excellency. Perhaps you see this question that is raised by our colleagues, students, and some of them are perhaps scholars, perhaps are reflecting from our experience. Yes, we have gone through these things, but we are now have reached a stage where democracy is under questions. At least to some people. I mean, how far, how much, how, and you know, the sense of, because democracy is a big word. It has to be defined, the methodology. To my understanding, I'm also a student of political science and economics. When you talk about governings, yes, it is democracy is one of the way, but from Islamic perspective, there are two aspects of democracy. One is the power itself, and the other is how to use the power. In Islam, the power belongs to the God, which is given as amanah to the human being, to the people, the ummah. And the way to apply this power is through shura. which should be the essence of democracy. Now, this mechanism of shura, which we have now, which is following blindly from the West, is creating problems, Excellency. Creating excess of democracy, as we can see now, what we can say, coup handle, so it's in Dutch word, which means political bargaining and trying to cover up each other. And this is democracy. I think some people are fed up. I mean, why do we have to have these things? We animate these things here. I mean, this is perhaps, you see, some of the minor, because we are start to asking this question ourselves. I mean, democracy, yes, but what kind of democracy? For example, I can mention from the time when I was studying, there was at one time in Pakistan in the 60s where they introduced what called basic democracy, where people elected. They have called union council. They elect 5 people, and these 5 people elect the council, the sub-district level. If there are 10 sub-districts, so there are 50 people will elect the 10 of the Kedutaan, we call it council, and then that way the people know who they elect. They know their integrity. There's no role of the political parties, which sometimes manipulate the situations. And as we now see, if you go to politics, you have to pay a lot of money, and then you have to find a return. So this is way the corruptions and everything comes with it. In the West, this is happening, but it's very nice and smooth. Everybody is covering each other. You know, both the political parties in America, for example, even in some countries which have. But here we are still rough and tumble, like in Philippines, for example, or in Thailand. So this is, I think, what are in the minds of some of my friends, I believe. I don't know exactly. They start to, so is it the best way, the best solution for Iraq or even for other countries? So I may be wrong, but this is my understanding, because it's come to a situation where situation is, you know, becoming like counterproductive.
Yeah, I don't think there is one democracy fit for all. There is no democracy fit for all. The principle of democracy, I think, is okay. No problem with it. But one thing, you need to build the human being. You need to educate the human being.
Of course. The freedom.
Unless build the human being by education, and we need to have also strong system. So strong system, I mean, maybe very strong parliament. We have very strong courts, independent courts, isolated from governments. So if you have corruption, I think no system that can work with you. No system that can work with you. So it is dictatorship. If you have corruption, this is a disease, I think. You have, unless eliminate these things. So when you talk about democracy is, as a principle is good. But if you have corruption and people that pay money to this, to do the election, and when they come as a winner party, they need to get return from this and business and this. This is different issue. So, but as a principle, I think democracy is okay. As each country, I think they need to customize their democracy, how they fit with their system, with their people, with their background, with their education, with their system. So if you go to United States, I think we have one party rule, the other opposition, always they monitor them. There is very strong system.
Check
if
and
the
balance.
people do corruption, and they're a very strong system. So you need to build this system, all these systems, you need to build it. You need to build a human being, you need to educate them. And after that, democracies come, and they need to customize it a little bit with your country.
I think somebody from
Here, there are two people.
Yes, sorry, please. Yeah, excuse me. May I?
Okay, thank you so much for the Excellency, the Ambassador. I am the doctor, and I'm curious about the healthcare now in Iraq after, of course, the invasion in Iraq, when the doctor only get a salary $1 for a month. And my second question is, I just curious about the relationship in Iraq after the Obama government. So how about the relationship Iraq and United States after this? Thank you so much.
So you have two questions. You are a doctor. You are a physician or just doctor and you are physician? Doctor. So, okay. After now, right now, the situation is much better. The GDP for Iraqi now is $4,000. $4,000 GDP, it means the annual income for average $4,000, which is, I think, more than Indonesia now, the instructor, if he is physician teaching at the university now, my brother, he do this, he gets around $4,000 per month. Right now, he gets $4,000 per month, which is much better than at the time for Saddam until 2003. After that, the salary become much better, and now the situation much better. You asked me about Majlis Ulama Indonesia when they went to Iraq. This is the question?
No.
What's the question?
For the first question,
Second question.
For the relationship of Iraq and United States after Obama became the president in America.
After Obama
became
when
president.
When Obama came, I think we already have the agreement that there is no more troop stay in Iraq. We signed the agreement before Obama, I think, reached the House. So we have the agreement, still on the same agreement. We don't change it. The Iraqi people, they don't want to change it. So we keep it there. He is agree also to withdraw all his troops from Iraq. Iraqi people, they don't want him to stay. And even American people, they don't want to stay. So we have the agreement. He continue with the same policy with Obama. And they need to protect this democracy. They think this is like a baby for them in the Middle East. So they try to encourage Iraq to benefit from it and show it to the other. This is an example for democracy in the Middle East. You're welcome.
Yeah, please.
My name is Azman Rido. I have 3 questions. First, when America attacks Iraq, there are so many opinions and assumptions about why America attacks Iraq. Some says because of oil, some says because of nuclear weapon, some says because of attacking or unseated Saddam Hussein from his rules. So what is the reality of the purpose of America attacking Iraq? How do your opinion about it? That is the first question. The second question is about the participation of Arabic countries surrounding Iraq. How their participations and the attention towards Iraq in aids or in maybe in helping Iraq after attacking Iraq now, because when we are listening of the informations almost from other European or Western countries or even Asian countries that want to help Iraq, but only a few informations about the participations of Arabian countries to really want to help Iraq. The third question is about Indonesians and Iraq. How do you think about what do you hope from Indonesia to help Iraq peoples? I mean, what is the real things, then the most important things and the big things that you need now? Because you have living now in Indonesia, you know what do you think about Indonesia as well, and you also know about what your people's needs from Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So there are 3 questions. The first one, you talk about why America invasion Iraq. There are many stories. And many stories, they are not correct. They are not correct. When they go to Iraq, because of maybe you say oil, because of chemical weapon, because many things, and it is not true. Mainly the opinion of now for United States, they say we try to build a democratic country and remove the dictatorship. Mainly this. The main advantage of people, I think, in Iraq, they switch to democracy. But is it worth it or not? This is people debate about these things. A lot of talk about these things. This is one thing. Arab country, what we need from Arab country? the first of all, we are border with them. And Iraq dissolved their army and their police. So we need to protect our border. A lot of them, I told you there is no terrorist in Iraq. There is no man terrorist in Iraq before 2003. After 2003, and the main leader, I told you, like Abu Mus'ab al-Zarqawi, one of the main leader, and Abu Ayyub al-Masri, they came from Jordan, they come from Egypt. So we need help from them to protect our border, because at that time we don't have police, we don't have army to protect our border. This is one thing. The political support, many Arab countries, they opened their embassy in Iraq. As I told you, we have 69, almost 70 embassy in Iraq. So we need political support to our government. Many of them, they open. Libya is not. Libya until now, he is not opening his embassy. Indonesia, alhamdulillah, they take the action almost 1 month ago to reactivate their embassy in Baghdad. So we need from Indonesia political support. This is one thing. What Indonesia gonna benefit from that? Iraq is land of opportunity, a lot of things. I think the main thing Indonesia they need from Iraq is oil. Indonesia, they have very limited resource of oil, less than 1 million per day, their production. Iraq now 2.2, they're gonna reach 12 million in 2016. So, Indonesia, they are steady in less than 1 million. There is no future. So I think they need the oil of Iraq. So in the future, we need to sell oil from Iraq to Indonesia. This is what one of the major things I'm going to work on it. And the other thing, there are many other trade happen between Iraq before, like the tea. We used to have almost $60 million per month just for tea from Indonesia. Now, mainly because they don't reactivate their embassy. So mainly we go to Sri Lanka now and get the tea. Palm oil, we used to buy a lot of furniture. We used to use a lot of things from Indonesia. Even the Prime Minister told me why Indonesia hesitate to come back and participate in many. We have just a proposal for a project now when we have $168 billion for a project. $168 billion for a project. Our budget this year, almost 90 billion. If you add Syria plus Jordan plus Lebanon, we are equivalent to this budget of these three countries. So do you see the budget of Iraq compared to our neighboring country? So we have big budgets. The future is there for us. We hope many Muslim countries return back to Iraq and reactivate their embassy and gain some of the pie. There is big pie in Iraq now. A lot of Western countries, they already jump. They don't open embassy in Baghdad, but they open consular in Mosul and Basra. Remember Mosul, Basra, we talk about it? They open now consular in Erbil. They open consular in Basra because of business. But alhamdulillah, when I came here, now we talk with they take the action to reactivate the embassy. There are some people going, inshallah, very soon to Baghdad from the government. I will invite some people from Iraq to come here to strengthen our relationship with Indonesia. Okay?
Any other question from outside, from Jaya or from I'm sorry, I was asking if there's any question from University Sriwijaya or University Al-Azhar Indonesia or University Gajah Mada, please. Well, Excellency, while waiting, sorry. Yes, please.
Hello, sir. We are from Sriwijaya University.
Yeah, we got you here.
Yeah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Andres from Sriwijaya University. I will ask you, sir, about decentralization implementation in Iraq. I know after Saddam regime cooling down and break, decentralization is very important for Iraq, I think, because we know development is not run well. So I will ask you about maybe about public policy. You know, you can tell us about public policy implementation, especially for decentralization. It is the first. The second,
Yes.
I will yeah. For the second question, I will ask you about maybe transportation system in Iraq. Yeah, because
you get it,
I think after Saddam regime fall, maybe transportation is a big issues for Iraq. I think enough, sir. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Can you
Yes.
repeat the question?
First question is about public policy
Uh-huh.
in Iraq after the fall of Saddam and all this chaos that went for, I think, 2 decades almost. What's now the public policy in Iraq? The second question is about transportation system. Understood by us, or by a colleague here, that there must have been some destruction or disruption of transport system. How far has been going on in the redevelopment of transport system?
Yeah. Let me answer the second question. It's easier than the first one. I don't know. So for transportation in Iraq, we used to have very good like airlines. We have between different city in Iraq, like if you go to north or to south, you can use the airplane. And we have also train before. Train, there's a lot of train goes from Basra to Mosul to Baghdad. They use train also. And we have very nice network of highways. Very nice network of highways. But mostly they destroyed after 2003. Mostly they get destroyed after 2003. So mostly we need a lot to work on the infrastructure. We have many projects in the transportation for infrastructure to rebuild these things, We have a very nice project to connect like Gulf area with the European area. You know, the north is Turkey, the south is Gulf area like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and these things. So we tried to build a project for a train so the people, they can go from the Gulf area to the Europe through the train. Yes. So they tried to build this one and we have very nice highway system there, but mostly they get destroyed by airplane or by tank. Need a lot of repair. They need a lot of repair. For the public policy, Iraq now is open as a democratic country. So everybody, they can maybe his own party, his own, they are equal for all of these things. So women, everything there. But if you ask me, there is a problem, let's say when they do demonstration, when they do these things, still we have some challenges. I cannot tell you we are a pure democratic country like the United States. No. Still we have some corruption. We have some, but we are work on it. And the government work on it. The parliament work on it. So I think we are in the right track, but still we have challenges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellency, any other questions? I think there was a question about this invasion things, if I may mention here. As Your Excellency rightly said, there are many views about this invasion. There is an article, interesting article, written by Michael Meacher He was a minister in Blair's cabinet who resigned. There were 4 ministers who resigned because they didn't agree for Britain to take part in this invasion with the Americans. The article appeared in a newspaper called The Guardian of London on the 6th of September 2003. The title of the article was "War Against Terrorism is Bogus." War against terrorism is just nonsense. Because he said, actually, they could have catched this terrorist if they wanted to. But they make this as a pretext. And of course, there are a lot of information. They say that some of those terrorists in the States were trained in American military camps. It's mentioned in that article. And this article was written by a former minister in Tony Blair cabinet. The 4 of them who resigned. And it was proved later on that there was no weapon of mass destruction which was given as a pretext, as a reason. And there was no nuclear or anything. Biological weapons and things. So there was some kind of, they connected with what happened in New York, the WTC, and therefore the terrorist things came up, which you had mentioned. There's no terrorism in Iraq. I think there's no terrorism in Indonesia also before, and so many other countries. So this must have been created by someone for some purpose, for some reason. This is again international politics. So this article, I think, I would recommend anybody who would like to read to go to the internet, read a Guardian newspaper, 6 September 2003, by Michael Meacher, a former minister, and the title of the article is "War Against Terrorism is Bogus." If I can have email address of anyone, I can just send it to, I have this very handy. Of course, this is a lot of other information mentioned there. But I think Your Excellency also right, and very true, that at that time it was very difficult to remove Saddam Hussein. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise. But also, on the other hand, they have other purpose and intention from the part of the big powers, as we can see even until now, try to control the situation in the Middle East in general and in Iraq particular.
Yeah, just to add one thing, people, they think we give the oil to United States. This is not true at all. We have very clear tenders, even they put in the internet. And when we put the tenders for oils, all company, it's open for them to participate in these tenders. And many times, Chinese company, South Korea, Japanese, Malaysian, Germany, United States, United Kingdom, they win. So it's not true that we give that the major of these tenders to the United States. It is not true, completely not true. So people, they think they goes for oil. This is not true.
Yeah.
So if they goes for oil, we give them all our tenders to them, and there is no tenders, and just give it to the United States. But this is not true. This is proven is not true. And I hope Pertamina, they can participate on some of these bidding in the future.
Yes, I believe so, Excellency, because Iraq is a very old country. It has a lot of experience, experts, and they cannot just play whatever they want. I think they've now regained independence, and they can do it. There's openness because of the democracy kind of things, which is the good part of democracy.
Yes.
Only there's one or two questions I'd like to ask against. You didn't mention anything about why did Saddam Hussein, not Iraq, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait? What was the pretext of it before? Of course, because that has
the opinion of Saddam Hussein? Okay.
Well,
Saddam Hussein, he mentioned that many times that, we have the war with Iran for 10 years.
Yes.
And that time he was busy fighting with the Iran, and this is the door to protect Arab country and Gulf country from the Iranian and these things. This is the excuse. And the Gulf country supports him. And after the war, we lost a lot.
Yeah.
We lost men, we lost women, families, everything is almost destroyed. So he need money from the other countries and to support him and these things. And they mentioned that Kuwait, they took our oils they put not perpendicular to withdraw oil from the wells. They make it like angle, and they withdraw oil from Iraq, and they need to substitute for these things. anyway, I think whatever excuse in his mind is not legitimate what he did to Kuwait.
Yeah.
Kuwait is our neighbor. They are Muslims country. They are very safe with us. So what he did to Kuwait is not acceptable by any rule. By any rule, not acceptable. And no one can say him, no, we cannot. Even I told you a story about Saddam when he tried to invade also Iran. Iran at that time, one of the person in the army, he was very good person. He is Muslim and he's very good person in the army. His name Dr. Mahmoud Sheet Khattab. He was general in the army and he asked him, Saddam Hussein, I'm going to hire you like Minister of Defense of Iraq. He told him, why? What's the reason? He said that I know all the soldier, they like you. And I would like to go and fight with Iran. So he refused. He told him, I can't do it. He told him, give me 1 year as ambassador in Iran and I will solve this issue for you. I will solve it. Just give me 1 year, appoint me as ambassador in Iran and I will solve these things. But he refused and he kicked him out of the army, he kicked him out of other thing. Nobody can change his mind. When he has something, he will go for it. He will go for it. So this is what happened. This is what happened. So we are a very nice neighbor country. We don't have problem. So what's the gain of it? You see what's the result? So fighting with Iran, number one. Fighting with Kuwait crisis, then with the United States, then sanction. Then after 2003, Iraq, they don't want to be a stable country because Iraq, they have a lot of power in the region. So a lot of educated people, many universities we have, a very good health system, very good education system. So they don't want Iraq to be stable. I remember an article with Al Hayat, if you know Al Hayat, Lebanese magazine newspaper,
Beirut,
by Raghda Dargham. She talked about who is the player and where is the playground. So she mentioned that the playground is Iraq. But who is the player in Iraq, actual player in Iraq? United States is one of the player. Syria is one of the player. Iran, one of the player. So she talked about different, who is the player in Iraq. So of all these countries, just we need to protect our border. We don't need anything from them. We appreciate them. We help them. We give them oil. We give oil to Syria. We give oil to Jordan. We try to make very good relation with Kuwait. Just we want a stable country, and you see what's going in Iraq. And I hope within this 2-3 years will be much better relation with our neighbor.
Inshallah.
And much better stable country, and they will flourish, and you'll see the results.
Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you very much.
Excellency, I don't know if you mentioned the composition of the population, Sunni and Shia, in terms of percentage. I missed that. If you did mention it.
I didn't mention it in there because we don't have these things before.
I see.
But if you want, I will tell you. If you want to talk about Sunni and Shia, I don't know the Kurd, because all the Kurd, they are Sunni.
Sunni, yes.
Or let's say 95% of the Kurd, they are Sunni. So Kurd, they say between 15 to 20%.
Kurd, yes.
Yeah, between 15 to 20%. Arab Sunni, they say around 30 to 35%. So how much these?
50.
50. They say 50 to 55, they are Shiites or something like that. But there are 5% other like Christian. So if you say Sunni and Shi'i without Arab and Kurd, almost they are equal. Almost they are equal. But if you remove the Kurdish, the Shia is going to be more.
Yeah.
If you remove the Kurdish from the equation. This is how they are. But actually, we don't have actual statistic about these things. Until now, we don't have actual, because we don't mention, before we have statistic, we don't mention the Sunni, the Shia. We don't have these things. Yeah. So this is the problem.
I think we are coming to the end of this virtual presentation selected by the Ambassador of Iraq. And we thank you very much, Excellency.
Thank you very much for listening.
And I return back to the program. Yeah. I return back to the MC. Yes. Thank you. To the
Thank you for hearing the lecture. And in the end of this lecture, once again, we would like to express our gratitude to have the opportunity to gain our knowledge regarding the past, present, and future of Iraq that was presented by His Excellency Mr. Ismail Muhsin. And as the symbol of our gratitude, we will give a souvenir that will be presented by Ms. Freyani to Mr. Ismail. To Ms. Freyani and Mr. Ismail, please step forward to the podium. Mrs. Freyani and Mr. Ismail, please remain at the podium to take pictures. All of the students are welcome to join at the podium. Thank you.